Our next guest is going to talk about, well, what about independence? What about employment opportunities for those who, quite frankly, are legally blind? And it's Joe Saunders to tell us about that. Joe?
Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Good. I'd like to thank Rita and Mr. Harley for having me today. And I'm back to my old hunting grounds. I was started as an executive here at Thomas Jefferson some 44 years ago, and glad to be back. I retired as the President and Chief Operating Officer of Crozier-Chester Medical Center about 4 years ago and took on the chairmanship of the Board of Directors for the Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I am a volunteer. I want you to know that. Our location is 100 West 15th Street in the city of Chester, dead center between Widener University and Crozier-Chester Medical Center. And that we've been there a long time, since 1941. We're in a very large building, 38,000 square feet, of which 10,000 is leased to Elwyn and Northern Homes for Children. About 7,000 are involved in our traditional therapies of rehabilitation, vision screening, low vision clinic, computer access training, transportation, social services, and meetings, and a residential program for youth, teenagers, and the rest of it's our toilet paper factory, which I'm going to talk about. Our month-long residential program, I think stories are the best way to talk about independence and moving forward. Our month-long summer residential program is called the Ideal Program, and it's a boot camp for blind and visually impaired children so they're prepared to go off to work in college. We were just on ABC News, and one of our graduates is a senior engineering student at Swarthmore College. In his senior year at high school, he went totally blind, panicked, went into a horrible depression, and thought his life was over. He came to our Ideal Program, and within a month we had him souped up. He was ready to go to college. He's now the leading student in engineering at Swarthmore College, and tells you what can be done if you intervene early, or you intervene with folks with blindness and visual impairment. For our 50-year history, we concentrated on the traditional rehabilitation programs to assist our folks in remaining independent by giving them skills to help navigate their environment, how to use technology, how to watch TV, how to read, how to count money, do their wash, pay their bills, use computers, travel. Mainly, we tried to keep people in their homes and out of institutions. Well, about 7 years ago, during the decline, we hit a cliff, a financial cliff. And you know, I think tragedy is the inventor, the thing that forces you to change and do the things you need to do. And that financial challenge had us look at our financial model, which was totally wrong, and our rehabilitation model that was 90% right. What was the 10% that was missing? Jobs. We were rehabilitating people to sit home and watch Jerry Springer. And you know, if you've done that, it gets old quick. How many paternity tests can you sit through, right? I mean, really. And we were lucky enough to stumble upon Keystone Blind Services in Sharon, Pennsylvania. Sharon, Pennsylvania, out in the middle of nowhere. That's where innovation was coming from in our program, not Philadelphia, not Pittsburgh, not New York. And what did they teach us? Social entrepreneurship. Take control of your own environment. Take control of your own environment. We were dependent upon charity. That's God. That's the next life. The government. That's a joke. Right? That's a joke. And insurance companies. Oh, my God. You want to talk about 3 bad plans? We embraced all 3 bad plans and drove off the cliff. We had 90 days cash on hand. We were about to go bankrupt. Thank God we came upon the folks from Sharon. We now, our guiding principle is social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship. When we were going down the toilet, flush, we surveyed our clients about what they wanted from us. And what do you think they said? We want to become as independent as we possibly can, but we desperately need jobs. We desperately need jobs. For the vast majority of our 50-year history, we employ 10 or 15 or 20 blind people in the call center, and we operate a shelter workshop. Both great things to do, but horribly incomplete. Horribly incomplete. Just horrible. Anyway, so we went about rethinking what we were doing. And social entrepreneurship is really about creating businesses ourselves that we can employ blind and handicapped people. That's what we're into. That's our major focus. We're always going to do rehabilitation. We're always going to run our therapy programs. We're always going to run a low vision clinic. We're always going to do transportation. We're always going to do that. But more importantly, we need to get people the thing that defines them. What defines people is their jobs. I wish that weren't true, but it is. When you ask people, you don't ask people, are you blind? You ask people, what do you do? And what do you say? I sit home and watch Jerry Springer. That's not something you want to be able to do. Blind folks want to be just like the rest of us. They want to earn a living. They want to buy their own food. They want to live where they want to live. They want to make bad decisions and good decisions. They want to go to work every day. They want to be part of a team. They want to be committed. They want to be valued, just like the rest of us. Just like the rest of us. The jobs I'm about to tell you about are entry-level jobs for many of our employees. Let me tell you about 3 of our employees, 3 graduates. One of our graduates is now the lead receiver for Kmart in the entire eastern part of Pennsylvania. Totally blind. Totally blind. Head receiver for Kmart. One of them, you won't like this, please put your fingers in your ears, head RIS agent in the city of Philadelphia. So maybe we should have not helped him as much, huh? Anyway. And one that is amazing, the senior loan officer for Wilmington Trust Company is a graduate of ours. And we happen to be employed by Wilmington Trust Company to chauffeur him every day, so he's doing real well. He's doing real well. These 3 gentlemen often speak to our newly blind people to tell them, you know, there is a future after blindness and visual impairment. There are things you can do. In fact, when I speak to Lions clubs and Rotary clubs, I say, you know, the only thing I can discover blind people can't do is drive a car and fly a plane, and that's going to change soon. Right? It's going to. It really is. So, Delaware County. According to the last census, and you know, blind advocates will debate me on this, 77% of all the blind folks in our county are unemployed. That's a tragedy. Oh, the federal government doesn't do a good job of defining blindness. Tell you what, whether it's 60%, 50%, or 77%, it's not 7.8%. It's a tragedy. A tragedy is what it is. Well, in our county, in the second oldest state in the Union, we're also the second oldest county in the state. The prediction is 19% of all the people in our county are going to have visual challenges in their lifetime, and 8% of them are going to be legally blind. 8% are going to be legally blind. So we'll never abandon our goal to keep people out of institutions, out of nursing homes, and out of assisted living. But boy, jobs are the game. So what did we do? What did we do? Well, first, and I'll tell you about each one in a little more depth, we won the contract to provide photo ID services for PennDOT. Don't complain to me about the bad pictures, please. This is going to make you crazy. We started a manufacturing facility to make toilet paper with blind and handicapped people, and we supplied the entire PA Department of Correction with toilet paper. It's recession-proof. We started a housekeeping company. We now clean Cheney University. And this is one that we're really excited about. We're working with a pasta company to manufacture a private label brand of pasta to sell to the federal, state, and local governments. So, 3 years ago, we had about 15 blind and handicapped employees. Today, we have close to 100. So let's start with cleaning first. Cheney University. We use a combination of folks at Cheney, a team, visually impaired, totally blind, and some with other disabilities, to provide the housekeeping, and we do the minor maintenance, like spackle, little paint jobs, and all that. Now, how do you do that with those type of folks? Well, first of all, technology today, you can do almost anything with technology. So you don't have to be able to read the container and how to mix the chemicals. You put a machine up and it reads it to you, so you get a half to a gallon. It's amazing. We use lasers to direct our machinery. We're heavily mechanized. So we don't use a mop and a bucket anywhere. We use machines to do the work with people behind them. blind, handicapped, and visually impaired. It takes a lot more training to get these folks up and running, but once they get up and running, it screams. It screams efficiency, effectiveness. And we have to provide transportation. Cheney's out in the middle of nowhere. There's no public transportation, so we have to take on the additional burden and cost of providing transportation for these people. Snow removal, people say snow removal and lawn care. How do blind and handicapped people do that? Well, the same way we do it, right? Take them out and stick them on a tractor. We use pointers and lasers, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not hard. Now, do we do it when kids are running all over the sidewalk? No. We do it off hours. So we do all the lawn care for the Northeast Extension. We do all the snow removal. All the snow removal for the rest stops. Now, truthfully, most of the people that drive the tractors can see. That's the truth. But they do have other handicaps. 77% of all the people that we employ in these jobs have to be disabled. Have to be. And according to the contract, the disabilities can be 70% blind, can be 50% blind, 20% disabled, but 77% of the people are all disabled. All disabled. Our toilet paper factory, though, is the one that flips people out. It flipped me out. I mean, you think, how are you going to have blind people work around all this machinery? And it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. And it's amazing to see. And we have a combination of totally blind people in our shipping and receiving department and our packing department. Totally blind. And they always get the stuff in the right box to the right people. So they do. They do. And we use a combination of sighted and other handicapped people to operate the machinery and to do the materials handling. And they do a great job. It's like watching, have you ever seen great choreographed dance or ballet? Well, that's what it's like. Watching all these people work together, 3/4 of them can't see each other. Think about it, can't see each other. The real challenge was the sighted staff. You can't move the trash can. You can't move the wrench. It's got to be in the same place each time. We produce 5,000 cases of 188 rolls each every month. Every month. And we are in the process now of marketing our toilet paper to Kmart, Walmart, bottom dollar grocers, BJ's, and Costco. And if we get that contract, my God, any of them, we will be set for life, I would think. I would think. We just did an open house a night ago and had about 150 people in to see our manufacturing facilities and our work facilities. And what they're amazed at, when they ask our employees what do they want, they want the same thing we do, a decent paying job. They want to be respected, held accountable. And by the way, we have the lowest turnover, the lowest absenteeism rate of any of our competitors. So when we get an employee, they stay. They stay for a long, long time. I'm going to finish with a story because I think stories are the most important part of this. We have a guy named John. John. He works in our Computer Access Technology Center. And he's my source of inspiration. He's my source of inspiration. Because here's John. John's mom went blind in her early 50s and was a client of ours. And unfortunately for John, John lost his vision in his mid-30s. Total. Became depressed and homebound. And counselors kept hammering John about coming to the blind center and just coming and see what we were doing. So John comes to the blind center and starts talking to people. And here's John's comment to me about, and John's now a full-time employee at the blind center. He teaches technology, access technology to other blind and handicapped folks. And John is, I believe, totally blind, or close to totally blind. Anyway, he said to me, Joe, one day when I was here, I look at life as a deck of 52 cards. And I got dealt one horrible, terrible card. There's John right there. It's my man, John. John is so cool, it's a shame. So cool, it's a shame. John said, Joe, I got dealt a bad card, a horrible card. I wish I could see, but I can't. And I'm never going to be able to see again. But I have 51 other cards to play every day. And I have a choice. I can focus on the one bad card I've been dealt, horrible card I've been dealt, or I can focus on the 50 other great cards I get to play every day. That's what inspires me. That's what inspires our staff. if you ever want to see people at it in life, really passionate about life, passionate about work. I mean, it's hard to get passionate about making toilet paper, right? Wouldn't you think so? No. No, these people are into toilet paper all the way. They've got me into toilet paper all the way. So in closing, limits we put on ourselves. We make up the little fences we put around ourselves. We create barriers for others and ourselves. What inspires me about the blind and the handicapped is thank God they don't listen to us. Their dreams can come true, and people like us, in fact, I think it's Vision Quest this afternoon. I think it is Vision Quest, right? People like us in Vision Quest provide these folks with the avenue. And our motto at the agency is, we don't give handouts, we give hand-ups. Thank you.